Okay, yeah, I'm gonna continue with this. I've got the oscilloscope running, so I need to enable this camera. That's the one. Which scene was it again? This one. I guess that light's gonna be a bother either way. Okay, switch back to the scene. So, what I've done so far, what I'm doing here, okay, so I've built in the inverse mechanic. So if the channel is inverted, it just inverts the percentage value. Then in here, didn't I rename this? I renamed this one. I didn't rename this one. Instead of to rename this class because it's not just quad. I'm gonna try and make it for multi-rotor. Let's leave that for now. So inside its update function, I was assigning a value to each of its modules. So this code I haven't actually programmed onto the chip yet. So let's do that now. Let's just run it. We don't need to debug. Let's chat here. Okay. So yeah, right now what's visible on the oscilloscope is my radio signal. So as per the code, I'm writing the throttle value to each one of the 4 output pins, but currently I'm only monitoring one on the oscilloscope. So as I increase and decrease, as I increase and decrease this, you can actually see on the oscilloscope as it changes. So the next step would be, let's hook up channel 2 actually. I just want to confirm the numbering. Should be that. Hey Kurt, how you doing, man? It's been a while. Okay, so channel 1 to channel 4. Those are my pulse width modulation pins. So it's A5, 6, 7. So actually, hold on. No, I'm confused now. No. Oh, wait, that one's part of the inputs. These are all outputs. So it's 6, 7, 0, B0, and B1. Okay, we got both the channels working there. So now what I need to do is start doing the mixing. So for every rotor, which right now is going to be hard-coded to quad rotor, I'll build the system a bit better later. But for every rotor, I now need to calculate its value. So if we're looking at roll, like every channel is going to have an impact on every motor, pretty much. Well, it doesn't have to, but so for example, yaw only needs to be the front 2 diagonal motors. So I actually can draw this. What drawing program do we have? GIMP? There's something better than GIMP. I don't think so. I don't know GIMP well enough yet. I know this is really good, like a replacement for Photoshop. but I don't know that well yet. I used to play with it back in the day. Okay, so if we have our 4 rotors, whoopsie, that is an ugly circle. Fine. My drawing skill sucks. Okay, so this one usually turns inwards, and that one inwards as well. But so it's clockwise and counterclockwise, and then the opposing one over here also goes counter. No, Wait, no, I'm doing this wrong. This way, boom, and that one that way. That's how it usually works. So if you only have to increase this one's speed and decrease this one's speed, if I remember correctly. Increase and decrease for yaw. You don't have to do the other two. You can if you want more effective yaw. But let's start simple. Let's start with a system. So your ratio would be that our your duty cycle. Let's think about this. So we do this on your left, and then we do this on your right, basically. Something like that. Wait, how would this work? If this is turning inwards... Oh, shit. I understand normal helicopter thrust mechanics, but quadrotor is a bit different. This one's turning inwards. Its speed increases. You see what's going to happen there is quadrotor is also going to tilt like this. Well, like this. If this one goes faster and this one decreases speed. So you are going to have to do all 4, aren't you? No, wait. It's more complicated than that. Let's actually do pitch and roll first. Those would be the easiest. So if this is a percentage, we have to increase. So it's always at 50%, this value. So we have to determine the difference from 50%. So if you decrease pitch, it becomes a negative value. If you increase pitch, it becomes positive. No, well, applied over your throttle. So how do you do this though? You check if the throttle is more than 50% duty or less than. No, you don't check if. You just calculate and apply. Okay, so now how do we do this? You take the percentage value that it's different from 50, and you take the throttle value for each individual rotor, and you either increase or decrease it depending on whether it's the front or the rear rotors. But that how to determine that value though, and the weight of it, because you might want to increase or decrease the sensitivity of the effect that your roll or pitch has on your motor's throttle value. So, but I don't know if that's worth doing right now. It may be very important to have that early on. And kind of a multiplier of your roll and pitch effect over your individual motor throttles. How do we do this though? I would say if we do that, we might have to add it as a property inside this thing. No, this is the input channel. We might have to do something different. We've got the UAV control channel thing, which is an enum. Wait. We just call it sensitivity, but then see, eventually I want to make all the channels dynamic, but right now I'm hard coding everything. And if I build the whole system on hard coded stuff, it's going to be hard to turn it into something dynamic. I don't know what to do. I think let's stick to hard coding. It's the easiest for now. I just want to get this thing up and running. I've been playing with this for far too long. I'm over engineering at some point. Okay, so we just create sensitivity values. So what we're going to do, make them floats or what? Now we can make these just, because it's percentage, we'll make them uint 8. Oh, shit. We actually don't need one for autopilot, I think. It's always going to be a boolean, basically. Okay, so this is going to be pitch sensitivity. Oops. And this can't be a float, so let's start with 50 as the default. Okay, so now how do we get the difference from the center point? Center point being 50, but this isn't perfect though, so hold up, let me check something. First I need to change it to something like yaw or whatever. What's the easiest way to do that? Well, now the easiest hack to do that, this is in no way production code, is just to take throttle update duty and make it the yaw update duty. Like that, and then once you assign it, all those values are applied. So let's run this quick. What did I do wrong? Oh, idiot. Oops. Okay, so like that one, the center point is at 49. Let's open up OBS quick. Open that scene. Oh, there it was on 50. If I play with it a little, it goes to 50. But yeah, it's not perfect. If I trim it though, it'll fix that. But that's, I don't know if that's a radio problem, because I don't have this problem with pitch, with roll or pitch, if I remember correctly. $50, you see, it's a perfect 50. The center point, and the same with pitch, if I remember correctly. Oh, what are you doing? Okay, not a perfect 50, but it barely requires any. Well, now it sticks to 49. It's very close to 50, because if I just touch it, it goes to 50, but it's still not a perfect 50. That's the thing. It could be part of my base calculation that I'm doing wrong. Let's put the oscilloscope back on the actual RC channels. But I'm confused. Why is it? Wait, I just plugged it into the first two I found, which is your throttle. Oh yeah, there. Okay. But okay, we can't see individual duty cycles though. I think that just shows channel 1. By the looks of it. Yeah, channel 2 makes no difference. Okay. So channel 1 gives us a difference from 7 to 12, which is 6, 5. It's a difference in variance. But I think the other ones are different. Okay, so even though this is apparently 62 hertz, it just seems so slow on the oscilloscope. Let's see there. So 7% to 12%. Again, that's 5. The difference at the center point would make sense if it's 2.5. Doesn't round down though. If only I can get a better decimal value. Well, technically I can. Hold on. How did I do that calculation? Maybe I need to calculate the actual duty cycle and store it for now just as an extra value on this object. Call it OG duty cycle. Because it's temporary, we can mess around. How do you do this? You get the new tick over there, right? So it's the low tick less the high tick. No. The low tick to the new tick gives you the off period. And then the old high... No. Wait. Now I'm confused. So I need to get... I don't know if I need the frequency, because I think I need the frequency for this calculation. I think I need to get the duty cycle in a perfect percentage. So we take the difference between high tick and low tick. And divide that by the difference between high tick and high tick. Now let's just call it val. The old wait, there we have it already. I'm not thinking straight here now. We have it already there. And then we need one more. Yeah, this one needs to go. And then the low tick goes before it because it's low tick goes here. No. Let's think about this. Hold on. Sometimes I need a bit of visualization. Can you do that? Yes. So we've got a square wave like this. Then the difference between there and there is our on period. The difference between there again and there is our entire cycle period. So if we take this value and divide it by the overall value, we get our percentage of duty cycle. So we take the difference between high tick and low tick divided by high tick and new tick. Sometimes my brain still struggles with these things. Hey, Choco Milk, how are you doing, man? Sorry, I missed your message. I was concentrating. My brain's almost catching fire here. Okay, let's keep that image open there. How do I zoom out now? Smaller screen. Okay, so we've got our new tick minus high tick. That gives us our overall value. So now we need low tick minus high tick. And then is that I actually want this to be a float, but hold up, we'll fix that now. Duty ticks divided by the bigger one. No. But is it that? The small value is large. Wait. It is a small value given to the larger value. But yeah, this has to be a float. Oops. I think that's the way you do it. So let's simulate this. So let's say, let's bring this back. Why is it doing this now? What? Come on. Weird. That's text, right? Why can't I use it? Oh, there. Okay, so let's say this is 100 ticks. That one is 120 ticks. That one is 200 ticks, for example. Then we take 20. What's the total here? 100. Yeah. So our total width is 100. We take 20 divided by 100, which is a fifth, right? That's 20%, yes. Small value divided by large value. Okay, that is correct. Okay, but actually we don't need to create a variable. We can just assign that to the RC channel. What's this thing? OG duty cycle. So what we're going to do, we're going to let this run a bit and then just hit a breakpoint and add all those things to the watch list. Oh wait, it's running. I need to debug. No wonder. I'm waiting for it to hit a breakpoint. I'm like, why is it not working? So used to just clicking run. Okay, so we hit the breakpoint. Now we want each one of these channels on a watch list, unless it's there already. Wait, it is. What's that? No, it's not. These are old ones. Let's remove them. Pitch, raise roll, pitch, yaw. I don't care about throttle right now. Is that value OG80? Why is it 0? Oops, forgot to remove the breakpoint. I don't get it. I'm doing something wrong with the calculation. But actually, let's remove that one as well. Because sometimes the debugger causes the values to get skewed. So remove it and then hit it. And then let's see. 52. Oh, come on. 52,573. 96018. 54%. But then why? That's a float. Wait, why does it show 0? Oh wait, do I have to cast this? I know sometimes it doesn't like. Oops. Wrong way. I don't know if it's that, but let's see. Oh wait, I forgot to debug again. Move, run, pause. Okay, now wait. We wanna, how do you step over again? 5 of 6. 5 is into over is F6. Would it have calculated correctly? Yes. Now it shows though, but hold on. Remove this one. Let it run and then add one here again. 0.09. That does not look right. 0.09. The values are different. Yeah, they are different, but no way that's right. Why does it show that weird? Oh, now I can't access them. What? What do you mean? Because this isn't part of the class. No, but it doesn't matter. Can we evaluate this? We can. Why doesn't the debugger work over here? Well, it's never going to hit that one. How can it be 9%? There's no way it's 9%. Something's wrong here. Could it be the debugger skewing things? This is weird. Why you do this? Because it looks like it does it right when it's in here. But also, no, you know what? I think 9% is correct. Why am I getting 54 in some cases? That's the incorrect one, 54, because this one works at a completely different duty cycle, right? So wait, which channel is which now? I can't see. Is it this one? Pitch or roll? I can't see now. I think it's roll. It's pretty moving. No, this is... I can't see which channel that is now. Its movements are so small. It's also heavily delayed. But okay, so the 9% is the correct value, which means if you put the breakpoint here, it's effective. Okay, so which one are we looking for? Roll. 9.5%. Okay. Oops. Resume. We pull it all the way to one side. 6.9%. That's about 7. So yes, the difference is 2.5 based on my initial calculation. Now to the opposite side, then we should see our 12%, I think. Wait, let's first remove. Let it run for a bit. Put it back. 12%. So it's about 5. Now let's test it with the trims. So now I'm just going to trim it a bit. Makes a bit of a beep. Might be audible. Okay, so now it should be what... I can't remember what it was before, but let's see. It's about 1% difference almost. More or less. Opposite side. That is about 1%. Let's test the other side of the trim. Oh wait. Get rid of that. So now if it's 1%, we're looking at 13%. Pretty much 96. Okay, hold on. Let's write this down. So it was 9.5, 12, what was it? 7. Yeah. And 6 if it's trimmed, 13 if it's trimmed. And that's the center. I just want to test it with throttle as well, actually, because throttle behaves a bit different. Also, that was roll. Let's do it with all of them and just check. Pitch. Oh, I need to debug again. This one, no. $12. Actually, don't have to compare it all the way. $7. Do trimming. I should actually write down that the trims are 1%. Because I'm going to have to incorporate that variance into the throttle, because it's always got that bit of trim. Which on throttle, on gas engines is fine, because you want to idle and be able to switch the engine off, but not on an electric. You don't want it running the moment it powers up, so it's a bit different. But for now, I'm not going to care about that. I'll code that later. Let's think. Okay, so I was still testing pitch. $11. Sixes. Okay, so everything does check out. I'm going to test 100%. I think a few spot checks are good enough. We center the trim. And then throttle. Throttle was a weird one. Which means we actually just need to add it to the watch list. Where is throttle? Oops. All the way down. No trim. So all the way down. Put a breakpoint. 12%. Huh. 7%. Now, if I remember correctly, throttle doesn't have an up trim, so the up trim makes no difference, but I could be wrong. 13%. So down trim works. Let's test the up trim again. %, correct. And no, wait. We were expecting to see 8, or am I wrong now? Wait, what's the boundary? 6. We were expecting to see 6, yeah. Wait. How did the value not change? Oh, there. Something went wrong there. 11%. When we were expecting 13, that... Oh, wait, no, that's in the opposite end, naturally. But then, yeah, then the upper edge, I'm expecting to hit 6. Let's simulate that on the elevator. Pitch, sorry. 6, you see. So that means throttle, I'm correct, the up trim does not work. There's no up trim. It's trimming upwards has no effect. Well, at the upper end, sorry, at the upper end. I think it might be a curve. Maybe you can adjust it in the radio settings, but I'm not going to look for that now. I don't really care about that. The reason I think it's like a curve worked into the, it's mixed into the output, is because it works at the lower boundary, but not at the upper boundary. So it's not that the trim doesn't work, it just doesn't work at the upper half of the throttle spectrum. But yeah, let's turn off the radio to save power. Okay, so what I calculated before was the differences between these. So duty variance, let's go look at those values. Duty variance and the minimum duty, which is 6%, pretty much. I wonder if I shouldn't make this... Because I did copy that from stuff. So maybe if I make it a clean 7% or clean 6%, it gives me more accurate readings, but I don't know. So which one is center? 9.5 center is center point. 3. No, 2.5 and 2.5. Wait, did I calculate this wrong? Where's my... Oops. Wrong button. Did not mean to print screen. No, go away. It's 3.5. 3.5. Wait, I'm doing something wrong. I can't remember the center now. Was it 9.5? Is it still debugging? Yes, it is. So is this breakpointing? Pitch. Huh? How's pitch at... Oh, it's still trimmed maybe. Roll at 10. Are they... I forgot the stuff reset when you turn off the radio. Is that the end? I think, okay, so that trim wasn't set centered again. Neither was that one. Okay, so now let's run this for a bit. And then check out pitch throttle. And yaw. 9.5. Where's yaw? 9.4. You see, there's quite a difference. That's why yaw and pitch I expect to see at 50%. Not this one. So it's 9.5 and 9.4, whatever, is the center. That's the center. It's 3.5. Oh, wait. My brain made a boo-boo. That's why. So it is 3.5. The total being 7. 6.9 is close to 7, but I think maybe we shouldn't be using these values. Let's just do this. You can always undo this. Hold up. Okay, now let's check the outputs. No square wave. Did I mess something up in here? Made it pitch, so I should be seeing something. What did I break now? I couldn't have broken anything. Here. I just added this. That shouldn't break anything. Oh wait, we're still stuck at a breakpoint, aren't we? That's why. Still doesn't give me a perfect 50. Actually forgot to change scenes to the code when I switched. I should remember that. But it's still not a perfect 50. Oops, wrong one. This one. Oh no, monitor these as well. How is roll? What? Why am I seeing values like this? Weird timing. How can roll be 100? Makes no sense. Wait, let's remove it first. Let it run for a bit and then stop on roll. No, it's 50. Weirdly enough. The current duty is 100. How does it get a value of 100? Calculation error. No, it can't be. Hold on. Inverse overflow. No, that can't be it either. Something's not right here. I don't know. I think that's a debugger related problem. Square wave looks fine on roll. I hate when it messes me around like that. Okay, so we seem to be having a problem getting the perfect duty cycle calculation. Unless it just is imperfect and you need to rely on trims. What I should do is actually record the values, the average values of each channel for a while, and then make an average, and then code that as the average. Because I think this, where was it? This, if I undo here, those were just grabbed like during one snapshot, not averaged or anything like that. And rounding them doesn't seem to work. Or doesn't seem to help. Yeah, let's do the hard work. Let's calculate, try and get some averages to try and get that number better. So we're going to have to keep putting breakpoints over here for the endpoints. Let's start with center points. But yeah, this is where it gets different because throttle, pitch, and roll should all have the same ones, but they don't. Wait, we're already debugging. Forgot. What? What? What was that? Okay, so you can just put it here every time. $950 C47 91. Wait, what? Oh, that's throttle. Those are a bit closer. But anyway, we want to record this. So let's start with one channel. Because this shouldn't have a lot of variance. Okay, so that's roll. What's a shortcut for this again? Resume is F8. And then pause it again. Come on. There's not, those two are identical. So I'm guessing if this is very accurate, we should barely see variance, because the variance that we could see is the equivalent of 1 tick because of the way this thing calculates. You might always get 1 tick difference in your calculations.
Hello, motherfucker.
Hey, Captain Denton, what's up? Also, I need to remember to switch to this scene. Put that over there. And that over there. Actually, didn't mean to do that. Like so. And then in this scene, like that's fine. Okay, cool. But yeah, I'm still struggling with this. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to calculate averages. Is it breakpoint? What happened now? What's this question mark thing? I did a boo-boo. There we go. But yeah, what you up to, Captain Denton? Nice graph. Square wave, yeah. Although there it goes away. F8. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is get like averages of different channel values, because I'm reading my pitch, roll, yaw, and whatnot. So let's capture that value. Okay, you see the first and the last value is the same. So yeah, it's pretty much going to alternate between those two values the whole time. That's on roll. Okay, let's just note that. Roll. Now let's do pitch. Resume. Okay, and we know our trims are centered, so we hit pitch. Let's collapse roll over here and get pitch. Oops. Resume, and then pause again. Capture the value. Come on, copy, paste. Removes the breakpoint. Come on. I hate when that thing does that. Resume and pause. capture the value. The same as the previous one. Pause. It's a bit different in all of them. But still, we can calculate an average with that 4 values on each. Now yaw. Just want to double check the trim is centered. Oops. Resume. Finished earlier today, so home, already had dinner and a shower. Nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the shower tonight. I had to get in the roof again earlier, so I feel a bit dirty. Wait, was that your? Yes, your. Stupid birds are back. They're nesting in the roof again. But I need to find a countermeasure to keep them out. Same as the previous value. Same as the first value. Okay. But this isn't measuring our endpoints yet. What? Not a number, my ass. Doesn't like that. Really? Just paste a 0? Does not like that at all. Could it be this? Nope, doesn't like that. Unless... So every time you paste it, it also transforms your clipboard. What if I make this a comma? I think the calculator uses commas. Haha! God damn it, wait. That was the first value, right? Okay, so first value. Did I plus already? I don't think so. Plus second value again, plus first value again. That divided by 4. That's not right. Did it even calculate correctly? How is that not a number? Just worked. That's still a comma. Nothing changed there. Let's paste it here just as an example. It works. There it works. What the hell? Oh, but it also doesn't... Oh, it does paste correctly. Never mind. Actually, I didn't paste that yet. So if you take that plus that again. Plus that. Because that plus that again. Divided by 4. Now it looks better. So that's our average. Maybe I shouldn't make it. You can get rid of the zeros. Okay. So that's our roll average. Oops. first reading is very different from the others, but I'm going to use it anyway. What's that last one I stored there? Oh, it was the test from the first one. Okay, so now it's all commas. Oops. No, man, it is a number. Don't mess with me. Oops. I could have used the same value again. Okay, so there's our averages. This is a hard job. Got to calculate all the averages. Now I've got to do the endpoints. Damn, if you want to do it really accurately, you're going to have to do the left and right of each stick. Jesus, no. And then do it with and without trims. You know how many readings that is? I don't think this work is worth it. Fuck it. I'll rely on trims. Hell. Is this my test? I think this is my test one. Hold up. No, that was Arduino stuff. I had a different notepad here. It wasn't this one, was it? Screw it. Use the test pad. In case I do want to come back and do this at another point. I eventually want to, but then if I advance the system to make it work with other radios, I'm going to have to redo all those readings with other radio brands, unless they all do output the same value, but that might not be the case. Also just want to turn it off to save power. Okay, so we're going to keep these values as is for now. Even though it's not perfect, we'll trim it to try and correct it. But for the motor output, so to get the difference in ratio, you need to use a signed value. Wait, what is signed? Signed is... No, unsigned. Unsigned is negative, if I remember correctly. Where's Firefox? Let me Google. If you don't use these things enough, you forget it. I'm pretty sure unsigned allows negative. Signed allows positive and negative. Unsigned, 0 and positive. So it has to be signed in. So instead of doing uint, this is one thing I've never played with microcontrollers. I almost always work unsigned. So usually 8_t. So I'm assuming if you take the u away, that's a signed, an unsigned. Oh, sorry, signed one. Call it center offset so the name makes sense. And for each channel, we're going to have a different one. So Let's start with pitch. Oops. So it needs to be the pitch duty. From 50%, but hold on. So in theory, let's say our pitch duty cycle is 56 and we less 50, we get 6. If it's 44, we get less 6. If we get less 6, we need to reduce the throttle on certain rotors by, call it 6%. Actually, this needs to be hold on. The sensitivity we started off with was 50. Let's use the sensitivity here. No. Wait, now I'm confused. No, first we get the value, the difference. And then the sensitivity is how much we output on the what's the name. So no, that was actually correct. Minus 50. And then the difference. This one can't be negative though. Hold on, let's think about this. Let's skimp. Why can't I delete now? Because it's a new layer. It's a shortcut for delete layer. It's not a mask. Where's delete layer? There. Can I just do this? No. Okay. So we've got our 4 rotors all spinning at the same speed. If you apply pitch forward, then the front ones need to slow down and the rear ones need to speed up. So the center point would be 50. Let's say you're at 50% throttle. So we'll have, we use, this has to be unsigned. Think about this for a second. So take the difference, which is the offset, times the sensitivity, which is the offset. Oops, come on. Sensitivity. Which means if the value is 6, we're going to get a 3 over here because it's 50%. Should we stick to floats for now because they're all floats? This is where we go out of, or go back to int, so it's fine. So let's keep this a float. Floats can't be negative. They're wait. Or floats, I can't remember now. I think they're unsigned all the time. Where is that web page now? Always signed. But see, the thing is, if you overflow, it also goes into the negative. So how do you... Okay, but we don't have that problem. That could only be a problem when you're actually calculating the throttle. So we won't have that problem here. That could be a negative number. Wait. That needs to be deducted off the throttle value. Deducted on the one side, added on the other side. But now the thing is, say we do a calculation for yaw. How do we add them together? Or for roll? I think it has to work additively. So if we calculate pitch, we add it to the motor output value. No, wait. If this is going to be a pretty tiny value. So yes, additively should be fine. Another bot got banned. Let's check Kick as well. I don't expect chat on Kick and YouTube really, but just to be sure. But yeah, this shit's kind of melting my brain a bit here, Captain Denton. This is complicated shit. I don't do this enough to be proficient at it. Streaming on Kick too, yeah. And YouTube. Multi-platform. But I think Kick has a resolution limitation. You get better resolution on Twitch. You get 2K on Twitch. No clue what I'm looking at. So high level, it's simple. It takes my remote control signal, and because this radio only works with aircraft and helicopters, so radio control aircraft and helicopters, so it doesn't work with quadrotor. So it takes this signal, which is mixed for aircraft, and then transforms it in a way to mix it for quadrotor. So what I have is a class, a program. So the program has classes which are things responsible for individual jobs, call it that. So I've got a class here that reads the input from the radio's receiver, and then I've got a class here that takes the red values and then mixes them for the drone's motor output. So that's the part I'm busy with now, is mixing for the output. So I'm doing the capturing already, that works well. But now the reading or the writing to the motors is where I'm thinking how I'm going to calculate this shit. Because I've got 4 individual channels. I got throttle, pitch, roll, and yaw, like your regular aircraft channels, the 4 primary ones, and I got to mix them for the drone's motor outputs, which is quite complicated. It is a helicopter with 4 rotors, but it works different. Like the helicopters on radio control things, they have 3 channels on your swash plate. So you've got one in the front, you got one on this edge and one on that side, and they mix together. So your radio is responsible for doing that mixing. Now that won't work on a quadrotor. So I need to, what I did was I just took normal aircraft channels. So your throttle, pitch, yaw, and roll is all individual. Nothing is mixed actually. Whereas with a helicopter, the radio does the mixing for you. So yeah, it's a bit different. So I have to take any changes in pitch and roll and yaw and calculate minor values that I'm going to have to add on top of the throttle value, add to or deduct from the throttle value, and then do that for each individual motor based on the level of my roll, pitch, or yaw at any given time. Because all 3 of those channels, roll, pitch, and yaw, affect your motor output, your throttle output. So that's why it gets complicated. But I do think I need to go make some coffee. Help my brain wake up a bit. BRB. Okay. Back to it. Back to it is kind of funny, Captain Denton. I'm not sure if he's still there, but there's this thing, this show on YouTube that's funny as hell. If you have seen it, you know what I'm talking about. The Chit Show. Let's do this Chit Show, I think it's called. Yeah. So this channel, actually, let's pause the music here. This shit's so funny. The first episode, let's go to oldest. I guess might not be the first, but it's one of the best. This one.
Atera is the IT
goddamn ads.
remote monitoring.
Damn, this is loud as well. Also, I just want to check the audio actually works.
Smart automations, patching,
Yeah.
software deployment, scripting. And the amazing thing.
Shit,
City
what was
ads.
that?
Is there a black person here?
What did you just say?
I said, is there a black person here?
Do you have a question?
Yeah. Is there a black person here?
Chit, why are you asking that?
Janice said there was one in here. Came to check.
There's a white person here too.
Well, I don't need one of those. Mm-mm.
Chit, please stop what you're doing.
What's the big deal? I'm just trying to find the black person here.
Well, you found her. Okay, you got her today. Okay, let me see. Let me set my sparkling down.
Oh, here it is. Got it.
Chit, are you saying is there a black purse in here?
Yeah, success. I like your haircut, Linda.
Thank you, Chit.
This shit is so funny, dude. I love this comedy. The Chit Show. You have to go check it out if you're looking for a laugh at some point. The Chit Show. And he always is in a lot of his stuff. He's like, back to it then. When he goes back to work, he's like, back to it then. So I'm always saying that now as well. Have you seen it? Yeah, that shit's funny. There's some pretty good comedy channels on YouTube and Insta. I always like following these things and like training the algorithm to only show me shit like that so that when the world goes to shit, it doesn't make me depressed. But okay, so let's see. Am I still on the right screen? Yes, I am. Nice tactic, yeah. That's the thing. Like I've realized when bad shit happen in the world, it actually affects you, and it's not really. It doesn't directly affect you. It affects you because of the internet, because you're like watching all the social media. And I've learned like if you want to keep things positive, then don't let that stuff show up on your feed. But yeah, let's see. So the front left and front right rotor has to have their values changed. No, all of them, sorry, for pitch. So the front difference, you're going to do this. Front equals front plus the difference. And then we do the same for front right. And then we do same for rear right and rear left. Okay, but then the second value needs to be the rear difference. In theory. But it's going to be such a small increment now, I don't think I'm going to see it. Wait. This is a big duty cycle. So no, this is going to be a pretty big difference. You should see the difference on all the motors. The value could get pretty big, meaning... But it's still only applied by 50%. Okay, so let's test this. In theory, this code should work. I should see... If I increase the throttle, see the square wave get bigger, and then if I give it pitch based on whether it's forward or back, the square wave will adjust a little bit. And as I increase throttle, it'll adjust with it. In theory, I don't actually need to debug if the code works, but let's see. Forgot about the little code hack I did earlier to over here to change that throttle thing. So let's not do that. Unless there are other reasons why I would have calculation issues. Let's just give it a no. Let's just run it. God damn it! Work! God damn it! Okay, so throttle works. Whoa. That completely breaks the square wave. hold on. But yeah, that must be a calculation breaking. But they are breaking in the same way. Wait, can't see. Both high, both low. So yes, that means it's applying to. And if I flip it, hold on, give me a second. This one should work inversely now. One high, one low, one low, one high. Okay, so it does work inversely. It's just that the calculation's obviously wrong, giving me a very wrong value, but it does pull it high and pull it low, so it represents it correctly. Actually, let's keep it like that. Keep those two channels connected, and then we quickly figure out what's going wrong here. So this could be a negative value. Oh, we're taking a float, less a float. But this can be a float because they did say floats can go negative. I forgot about that. Maybe that was all that was wrong. Sensitivity is an let's make that a float just to be safe. Keep everything floats, although the memory usage of floats versus uint8 is different, and we're not working with a freaking supercomputer. This is a tiny microcontroller. Oops, what did I do? Okay, where do we use due to counter H? But that is not a problem. We know that in this context it does actually work correctly. Maybe that fixes it. Let's see. Nope. Actually, it does kind of. Just by really big values though. Whew. Okay, so the sensitivity is way too high. Wait, where was it? This. Oops. There we go. That's the result I'm looking for. So as I pitch up and down, you can actually see the throttle output to the motor change accordingly, so front and rear. But it's still super sensitive. To think that that's 5% of the difference I'm calculating. I'm going to have to rethink this calculation, but basically that's the result I'm looking for. So that does seem to work. We're going to have to do that with the roll and pitch as well. And I think we're going to have to try and fix the calculation before that. Otherwise, the values are just going to be so enormous that it's going to be hard to distinguish the difference between which channel. But yeah, I think that's good progress also. Forgot about the music. Okay, so yeah, the programming is working the way I want, just not as precisely or to the degree that I want. So how do we determine this? See, some of it will have to be trial and error. You'll have to actually try it out on a drone and then change its sensitivity like that. It would be nice to have buttons and like a screen on the drone with its own like little operating system where you can actually change its sensitivity from there. But for now, we'll just have to hardcode the values. So the center should be 50, so this is always correct. Let's just double check something. Let's pitch update duty. Let's apply this. Which channels am I monitoring again? Damn it. So it's all of them. All these three. Oh wait, I messed it up. Oh, there. Oops, what did I do? No. Let's go to, what did I want to do? Debug this. I want to see that pitch center offset difference. Actually, let's remove the breakpoint for now. I keep forgetting you can actually just click on the number and it also adds the breakpoint. So much more convenient because if you have warning lines, you can't see if there's a breakpoint underneath. But okay, yeah, so the offset should now pretty much be very close to 0. Actually, you just step over what's that, F6. Oh, it's still below 1, so yeah, technically. So now as I move the pitch, let's just remove that breakpoint again. And then F8 to resume. Let's move the pitch a bit. Now, let's say it should be approximately 25 at this point. 74, well, inversely 25. No, but hold on, that's still not right. Wait, that's 74. So it should be 25. Oh, I looked at the wrong thing. So yes, it is about 25. Trying to think what would be a reasonable value to multiply this by. Let's say that's 25% pitch. That's 25 times 50%. What at this point is 5%. But hold on, it adds it. It's just weird that I'm taking 5% and it feels like it's such a big difference. So 5% of 25 would be no, 25 of 25 would be 5. 5% of 25, damn, how this is a hard one. 2.5, 1.25. Is that right? Yeah. So then it would take throttle plus 1.25. No way it's that sensitive. So it takes a throttle value, which it already is. I'm going to have to debug. Hold on. Let's remove that. Resume. No way it's that big. Come on, show me. What am I doing wrong here? Hold on. That's the offset times. Here's my fault. I'm being a mampara. This needs to be 0.5, not 5. 0.5 for 50%, yes. Brain glitch. Okay, so that should be 50%. Oh wait, I messed up something else. I need to restore. What was it? This. Okay, so rear right, rear left, front right, and front left. Okay, now that's the stick being pushed to its furthest boundaries and it's not maxing it out. So that's good. That's a much better result. Now we're going to have to factor in roll with this. Unless I'm making a very big mistake with the calculation, it should be literally just repeating this. So let's make a space here so we can distinguish. This is going to be roll. Go away, insect. There's some hoja here. Go away. It's a moth. Stupid thing. That's not a moth. So with roll, we don't have front and rear, we have right and left. When does that? It's also me forgetting to copy and paste it in the correct way to prevent it from doing that. Okay, so now front left needs a left difference. Front right needs a right difference. Then rear left needs left difference again. And rear right needs that. In theory, this should work. So I should see roll and pitch now affect my output. Throttle, roll, and pitch. Throttle, pitch, roll. Wait. These are two opposing sides. It's front and rear. Oh no, that is correct, yes. Works surprisingly well. But it does reach, in some positions, it reaches its endpoint boundaries pretty quick. Which is pretty much just a matter of reducing sensitivity to a certain degree. But yeah, this in theory should now be able to control 4 motors and give me cyclic as well as throttle. No yaw yet, but cyclic and throttle is all you need to get something in the air. You don't need yaw yet. Well, So yeah, this is cool. Next I need to calculate a roll. But here's the other problem with roll. Is the way I depicted it working earlier, or I thought the way it works, is going to cause lift issues. Where's that GIMP? There. No, it's bugging out again. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so let's say those are your rotors. And then let's actually do this. Okay, so this one is clockwise, while this one goes counterclockwise. So does this one counterclockwise, and this one clockwise. So when you yaw, you can increase the speed here. But I think I misunderstood this. I think you have to increase the speed on both of these and then decrease it on both of these. Wait. What will this cause? Increased lift there, decreased lift there. Yes, this is how you do it. Okay, this makes sense. Physics-wise, this is how you do it. So the way I depicted it earlier was wrong, I think. This makes sense. Because then any lift produced by that and that is counteracted by reduced lift on that and that side. And in theory, that should cause torque roll as well. I think. I could be wrong. The torque roll aspect, I still don't understand. This axis has more torque than this and this axis. So yes, it'll cause it to roll in this direction. But this one also has more torque, so it'll cause it to roll in that direction. Which counteracts it, doesn't it? No, wait, they're going the same direction. Hold on. Its torque pushes it in this direction. Its torque pushes it in the same direction. So no, okay, yes, that makes sense from physics point of view as well. But still, now I need to calculate on 4 motors again. Wait, where is that thing? Switch off the radio to save power. Let's keep that image open on the side. And check there's no chat that I missed or anything. No. Because this is going to cover chat for a moment. Okay, now we need to do... Yo, that damn bug is irritating me. Come on. Also, I have 2 differences for roll. But instead of left and right, it's going to be... Well, we are still going to use left and right, but left diagonal and left right. Call it your left and right. Makes sense, but also doesn't make sense. Okay. So now again, we have to apply this to all motors. Front left gets a positive 1 as an example here. Front right gets the negative 1. So it's actually similar to the previous one. But then, hold on, rear left gets the -1. Oh no, it's different than the previous one. Gets a -1 again, and the other one would obviously get the +1 again. Ah, I made a boo-boo. Copied the wrong thing. Left, right, left. If only my oscilloscope had 4 channels, it would have been so cool to see all 4 of them work at the same time. I need more money, bigger oscilloscope. Yeah, there's some nice oscilloscopes out there, but you should be able to get a Finersi with 4 channels for pretty cheap. I'm actually curious about that. Let's check. I can't remember how to spell that brand name. Can I see it on the OBS thing? Finersi. See, there's a 2. That's a 3 channel. No, it's the same as my one. Oh wait, the third one is the signal generator output. Never mind. This is also on my list. I need this. Has to be 4 channel. I don't want a USB one. I want a disk one. But no, I don't think there's one on Takealot. It's not loading more products, is it? Nope. This is a touch panel one though. This could be cool. But it said dual channel. Yeah, dual channel. 1013D. What's its frequency? I'm curious about this one. Also 100 megahertz, apparently. Some guys who tested these cheap scopes said they can't really reach 100. But yeah, so 4 channel doesn't seem to be available, but let's check. Because these guys make cheap scopes, so surely there's a pretty cheap one. 4 channel. How much did I pay for mine? This is about the same price I paid for mine. 100 megahertz. Oh, that's not 10141104. It's not the same brand, but it looks so similar in a lot of ways. No, it doesn't. Never mind. But yeah, this is pretty cheap for a 4 channel. And apparently it's also 100 megahertz. I think mine's also 1 GHz sample rate. Huh. Well, unfortunately that's not available unless is that the same one? 100 megas, 4 channel. Oh, but that's 15k. That's a bit expensive compared to my current one. Yeah, those are also expensive. What's this one? 2 channel. But yeah, I should stop looking at toys. I'm too broke for toys. But okay, in theory, that should still work. If I play with rudder. Yo. Let's run it, see what it does. Turn the radio back on. Okay, well, that is the result I'm expecting. So, it seems to work. But now we need to remember that the throttle in its lowest position gives us a... It doesn't give us 0% duty cycle. It gives us what? Oh, we need to debug for that. Time to ask for a raise. I wish someone was paying me for this. But yeah, it worked. Maybe we'll see end of the year. Who knows? Let's first remove that breakpoint for now. Resume. Remove that one. Then, wait, where was now this one? We put it back. Our throttle, where is it? Wait, it's not that one, it's this one. At its lowest position is at 13%. And that's with the trim centered. But that doesn't apply to the other channels, if I remember correctly. Let's remove that breakpoint, resume. Then we pull yaw to its furthest end. The breakpoint back, yaw is... Where's yaw? 12%. You see, there's like a 1% difference. But still, we need to have it at 0% in theory. So we have to offset throttle with about 13%. And since it has no upper trim, we can just offset the entire value. We don't need to do any more clamping or anything, in theory. Would it be necessary? No, the other channels would never have an offset because they're always centered. It's only throttle. So let's do this. Actually, it's not just bottom offset. Well, technically it starts at the bottom. Okay, fine. So we do that, which is going to be 13%. Start with 12.5, just out of curiosity. Debug. I didn't even change the code to incorporate that value. Hold up. Which is this one? Over here, our throttle. Minus throttle offset. Because if we need to invert throttle at this point, it would be inverted. So yes, we can safely deduct. Okay, let's test it. Okay, so now it's at the bottom position. 0.7. It's still something, it's close to 1. Okay, but hold on. The reason I'm doing this is because I don't want to have to trim it, right? Then what will happen if I trim it? It will go negative. I don't want that to happen. Clamp it. Where do I do clamp? Here. Let's think about this for a second. Because clamp is a function that I think might be a bit heavy, considering how frequently, well, even this gets called frequently, so. No, this doesn't get called frequently. This gets called at 50 hertz, 60 hertz or something. But so does this. Hold on, because this is event driven. This gets called by that one. So this triggers at 60 hertz, even though the pulse width modulation is set to 60 kilohertz. The updating only happens at 60, so I guess we can clamp in here. Take that value. Yeah, this is going to be 0 and 100, yes. But why is it not working? We probably need some library. That, I think. That should work. Yeah, there we go. Clamp is working. Okay, and then we need to change that to about 13, I would say. What? Who broke my code? Who broke my code? D was not declared. Where do you see a D? Where I must have made some weird ass typo. Oh, there. How did I do that? Who broke my code? Okay, so now throttle should be very close to 0, hopefully. Resume the... Oh, wait. Let's remove the breakpoint. Resume. Make sure the throttle's below and stop. 0.2% throttle. That's close enough. But yeah, now it also makes it harder to get to 100% duty cycle with throttle. And maybe that's a good thing because you always need a bit of extra duty cycle room for your other controls and how they might impact. Ooh. That messes with the system for some reason. Because everything is determined by the top square wave. There's a bottom square wave flattens out. That shouldn't be a problem, correct? It's only when the top one flattens out, the whole system gets confused. But yeah, that's pretty much the signals to the motors sorted out. But the system has to expand. Whoa, my chair dislocated. But eventually what I want to do is instead of outputting motor signals, I want to mimic the receiver signal. So the square wave, it's still going to be a square wave, just with a very different duty cycle, so that it's still compatible with other RC equipment. Because right now it just takes the receiver stuff and then mixes it directly to the motors. But the next step would be to actually build the motor output. So I think I ordered PC board. Well, I've got PC board, so what I need to do is build a PC board with 4 MOSFETs, and each MOSFET will then receive a signal from the STM32 and then output that to the motor. But that's not something I'm going to do tonight. Time is 2200. I think I've made pretty good progress. What would the next steps be for this? Building the motors and testing. For now, we can build it on a breadboard just to test as a prototype. Maybe hook up 2 of them. Maybe even... We could build 4, but damn, I'm lazy. Do I even have MOSFETs though? I remember I wanted to order the last time the correct type, but I couldn't know those types was for step-up circuits. So the ones I have currently should work. I'm gonna get my other mic. Where is that? That's loud. Okay, still got gain, still got noise cancellation. Okay. I'm going to switch over to the other table. Take the radio with. I'm probably going to need it. So. Damn. I've really got any space. And I've got to sort out all these resistors. I've got a whole bunch of loose resistors lying here. I've got a whole bunch of crap lying here. Simply put. I'm just gonna put some stuff around the corner here. Okay, that's what I'm using at the moment, but okay, we don't need the breadboard for the camera, so I'm going to pull this back a bit. So it makes it easier to work with, but I want the light, or I can just use my lamp. But actually, no, I won't need light. I need to get used to working without it. There's a bug in my screwball. Why? Silly bug. Go away. Just got to clean out this breadboard a bit first before I can actually work on it. I might as well actually move the camera here. Then I do have light. See this. Move this one out the way. I can't even see now because it's stream delay. That's a stream delay. That's the camera cutting out. I'm actually looking in OBS. Usually you just unplug and replug. How long has this been dead for? There, fixed. Weird. I wonder if some of the results I was busy with was working well. I did observe it through OBS, so I think it recently broke. But anyway, yeah, so let's make some more room here. The other thing is these MOSFETs over here are, they've got a high switching voltage, so they don't work with these low voltages of the microcontrollers very well. So I don't want to use these. But I do have the IRF. Wait, aren't these the IRFs? What are these? No. No, the IRFs had a metal back. Is it this one? That's the one. These are the ones I was using. I didn't have just one though. I don't know where I put the rest of them. Oh, there's, no, that's Adam 317. Where would I have put them? One's on a, is this one? Yeah, that's one. One's on the heatsink. I might as well put them both on the heatsink. They are going to get hot if I use high voltages. Where's those heat pads that I normally use for this stuff? Ooh, nearly dropped whatever this is. Heat gun, a glue gun, no, that would have been fine. Just want to move this out the way so I've got some more room to work with here. Although I risk knocking this off. Okay, so heat pads, where did I put those? And they're either in one of these boxes or in that drawer. Here they are. Why is this one not screening nicely? Is this the wrong thread? Doesn't look wrong. Unless the screw's just stripped. Or I went skew. It does not feel right. I don't trust the screw. I think it might have even just stripped my whole screw hole. Shit. God damn it, now it won't come out. Definitely stripped that hole. Fuck. Let's get the better screwdriver. No, that's not it. There's my big one there. Come on, almost had it. There. Yeah, look at the metal fillings falling out. That thing stripped my shit. God damn it. Looking for another M3. Ideally a short one. Well, there's a long one. There we go. That's better. Because yeah, once you put them in the heatsink, it's also easy to bridge. Because the positions remain the same if you move it around. Here we go. Okay, so now I need to make some room here, get some of these things out of the way. What do I have here? 12 volts, right? So the 12 volts, but these AMS 1117, I think that's also like 1 amps current limit. AMS 1117, let's Google that quick. Calling it a night, have a good rest of the stream. Cool, thanks Kurt, thanks for popping in. Appreciate it. Hope you found some entertainment. But yeah, if you guys ever have like questions, I'll try and answer them. I want to do educational stuff, but what I do is too complicated for a beginner, I guess. But yeah, I'd try and explain. Anyway, so AMS 1117. I wonder if the surface mount versus the pin is probably the same. It's probably 1 or 1.5, 1 amp. So I can't draw a lot of current from it. And those motors draw 600 milliamps each, so 1.2 amps in total if I run 2 of them, which means I might overload that regulator. Hold on. That's fine. Oh, never mind. You know what? I can just take the 12 volt directly, but I still don't have a female for the barrel jack. How did I always do my Xbox power supply? This one. How do I connect this to things? There's a XT60 bullet connectors, a Molex connector, and what is this? Oh, that's just for the balance board. My power bank's also a really good option, but if you don't use USB PD, it's also going to output at 12 volts, 5 volts constant. I need better 12 volt supplies. I need a bench power supply. That's what I need. I could hook into the 12 volt some way. Unless we just don't push the motors to the maximum boundaries once we plug them in. But anyway, let's hook up this circuit so long. I'm gonna build this over here. Wait, I want to move this as well. Chuck that back into ground on this side. There we go. Okay, so there's that connection. There's the power rail, which I can probably move this out a little. Wait, are those bridged? They are not. I'm gonna have to try and bridge them somehow. I'm not using these. Might as well take them. Where's my tweezer? Will I use my nails? Do I have smart electronics burning? Something smells like it's burning. Could be these getting hot. Although the receiver shouldn't show a lot of energy unless I put a servo on it. There we go, we got power on the receiver or the ground, still bridge DSL. Okay. So this, let's also clean up this a bit. I should chuck these all in that little bowl for now. Keep that chopper nearby in case I need them. It's gonna be a bit hard to see with the camera if I do that here, but I don't really have another choice. Okay, so that's in there. I need to remember the pinout. So did I do this correctly so the blue one will fit? There's a bit of a difference. We can actually just rotate them a bit to create some more room. Oops, that might have been too much. That's perfect. Okay. Okay, so we bridged the ground. Load comes on this side. Where do I put it? Oh, there. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I think I'm just going to rip them off the chassis for now. I'm going to have to get them in there somehow, but the tips, this is very soft wire. I don't think these tips are going to just shove in there, are they? Plus I've got balls of solder on there. I'm going to need to clean this first of all, and secondly solder this onto something I can plug into the breadboard. But yeah, the idea is basically I'm going to use these two motors with those two MOSFETs, and the outputs from there are going to control these motors. And then when I fiddle around with the throttle, rudder, yaw, and pitch, well, with all the channels on the radio, you should see the motor speed increase, decrease accordingly. But yeah, I don't know if I want to do that now. It's probably close to 12 past. I think actually I want to log into Eve a bit. I'm going to switch this off for now. Okay. Oops. But yeah, I think I've made pretty good progress. Over the weekend I'll build a nice circuit and test out the motors. Experiment with the sensitivity values to make sure that if I take this thing off for the first time, that I've got enough control that it doesn't crash. It's funny how my headphones volume changes when I rip out the mic. I wonder if it's got some kind of a feedback mechanism. Okay, so EVE Online, I don't really have anything I can do in EVE Online because I got a booster, so I'm chilling the station, just training skills. I have to stay there for 10 days for this thing to wear off, because if I die, I lose that benefit. If I jump clone, I lose that benefit. So I can't do anything. I have to chill in the station, so I'd rather play Frontier for now. Is this even the correct launcher? I don't think this is the correct one. I think that's the one I broke. I think I have to run this one. It says installer, but I'm pretty sure it actually just opens the launcher. I'll probably change stream title. Stole my focus. City game. What's my YouTube stream? Oh, there. Screw it. YouTube's quiet anyway, so well, while the game updates, I might as well. Let's update it. The Frontier. Let's see if my stuff is still intact. I don't know when the cycle ends, but I guess we'll see now. So I got to reinstall this game properly using Wine rather than doing it through Steam, because the Steam thing works weird. That's loud. What was I busy with last time? I was trying to jump into other systems to get to a station. What? Come on. Oh, there we go. Is this... I think this is one of the other systems I'm in. Hold on. One of these were mine. No, these were all mine, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And I would have shot it to pieces, which means we could... but why... Oh yeah, I wanted to build a base at this Lagrange point. I got fuel, I got crystals, so I can if the solar system has everything. Why doesn't it show me? There, carbon, we got carbon, metal, a lot of stuff here, more metal and natural, so we've got all the ore types. What was I looking for though? I was looking for specific types of combat sites. Oops. What did I just do? But yeah, I don't see those types of combat sites. And getting to a station didn't seem viable at the time. What fuel do I still have? 866. But that's in my... Let's move that over. So temperature is very low because I'm far out, but hold on, where's that station? There. Wait, is that the closest one? I think that's the closest one. Or it might not be. Wonder if this... Okay, but the solar systems in this region seem further away, so they might be unreachable. These are pretty clustered So I think that's a better option. Okay, let's check jump range again. And move in that direction. Once we hit that one, we might be able to hit those. I don't know. I don't know if that's a better option, maybe. But also, I don't want to jump just yet. Do I? Actually, I do. I'm sure this place will have everything I need for farming, so let's just do it. Fuck it. Jump. Jump. Go. Is it jumping? There we go. This lag is bad. We are at the edge of the solar system, so we should cool down pretty quick. Syrian, welcome in. How's it going? Let's see if we've got normal asteroid, carbon, what is that? And ferrous. Okay, so we've got all the mineral types here. Not much at the sun, is there? Just those. Fuel-wise, we might as well refill. And see how far we can jump with the next jump. Wrong button. Oops. Once we've cooled down, that is. But now I'm disoriented again. Where is that? Wait, the station was in this direction, if I remember correctly. Somewhere here. Be able to reach those. We'll see. Gathering resources, looking for a rift to mine so I can progress on ships. Ah, I haven't gotten that far yet, so I assume you're also a founder, early founder. Welcome. But yeah, this is the first solar system I've jumped to since I started playing this cycle. No, I'm lying. Well, I've done a few jumps. I've been trying to get away from this place to get to a place that has a station. The nearest system of the station is so far. And the jump route's kind of crap. I would like to build bigger ships as well, but I need a specific thing. What was it? Shipyard, I think. I need that. What's this called? Exclave Technocore. And apparently you need to farm a specific type of combat site to get that. There's already a refinery here. I wonder if it's worth jumping again. It probably is. Let's quickly check where that station system is. Which one is it? This one. So we want to jump in that direction. Which is a better option? I think this one maybe. Maybe. Let's do it. YOLO. YOLO. Got the shipyard mats, but I'm out of salt. Apparently I can't refine it out of tears. Out of tears. You can, but it's not going to work in game, unfortunately. Yeah, I remember when you needed salt to power your network node. But luckily it doesn't work that way anymore. I'm not sure what you actually need salt for anymore. I haven't gotten to a point where I need it. Anything with shipyard or in calculator in its name has the chance to drop Technocore, but they are protected by aggressive NPC ships. Can you fight those NPCs with a frigate class? What's this other ship I have? The Reaver? I think it's a Reaver. What's that? A Corvette or something? I can't remember. But I'm wondering because I found a site the other day that was messing me up. Oh, you can? Oh, that's pretty cool. But I'm a bit far from my Reaver now. But it's cool. If I set up a new home somewhere, I could always just start building one again. Shit, I'm out of fuel pretty much. I might have to set up here. Let's cool down first. Let's actually see if we can get to the edge of the system to cool down. We are on the edge. Okay, so once we cool down, we might be able to do one more jump. And then I'll set up base over there. Where's that station? Where's my original home system? Where's assets? U1S50J. U1S. Wait. There. Jeez, I'm not even that far. But have I been jumping in circles? No way I've been jumping in circles. It feels like I didn't even get that far. No, no, I couldn't have. Because I had to go there, then there. So no, I couldn't have been jumping in circles. But that was unreachable initially. What's this distance? Why can't I see the distance? Do I have to clear the filter? Usually when you select it, it shows the difference. Unless you have to go to jump range. There. Yeah, because I can only jump about 30. So yeah, that makes sense. I did jump far out. Did it in my reflex. This is a reflex, right? If I remember correctly. Because if you did it in that... Yeah, and it's only got one turret slot. I do have a turret. So in theory, I should be able to do it then. Just jump far away and use the range of the coil guns. I see. Coil guns though. Hold on. These are auto turrets, not coil guns. Auto cannons. Maybe I am inferior. But if I build a new base, I should be able to build coil guns. I think I saw them in one of my printers. But yo, that's going to take a while. I'm going to have to farm quite a bit to get all that stuff up and running. Let's see. How far am I cooled? I can still go a bit. It should give me a bit better range maybe. But it gets slow at this point, the cooling. How much fuel would that take? 11k. Wait, am I reading this right? 700 units of fuel. 700 units of fuel. Where did I see 11k? I must have hovered over the wrong system. So yes, I would have enough fuel for one more jump. Oh, this is going to be awkward trying to get to the station. To get to a station. The guns have 100 kilometers. The enemies had to fly before being able to shoot back. That's interesting. That's good range. I should definitely make those then. Because yeah, I tried speed tanking. Doesn't work that well on all ships. It does give you the advantage. As long as you have angular velocity, you've got the advantage. Or a advantage. But it's not enough in many situations. But yeah, how long have you been playing? Did you also come from EVE Online, or was EVE Frontier your first venture into CCP's game? I used to play EVE Online. I've actually got EVE Online. The only problem is I've got a character that's... so recently I died, and then as I respawned in the capsule, they gave me a booster, which lasts for 10 days, and I don't want to lose it. So I'm stuck in a station for 10 days until the skills have finished training, then I can jump. Because if I jump clone or anything, I'll lose that booster. This cooling is taking too long now. I think I'm just going to jump. Let's confirm the station distance again. I don't want to get my direction messed up. There's 90 degrees in that way, so I guess that is our best bet. This is our last jump, then we have to build base. So if I don't have carbon and stuff here, I'm pretty screwed. Let's find out. But I'm sure it would. It come from EVE Online, just this I can grow to like more if it's not getting too overpopulated. I wonder about the overpopulation thing because it's a lot harder to navigate the systems than it is in EVE Online. So, I don't know. If it's really good, it's going to become populated regardless, I think. Up to the edge of the system to cool down. And I've seen those before. I haven't seen that before. There's some interesting anomalies here. And there's resources. Anything at the sun? Why does the sun icon look different here? Or is it just me? Oops. I think it's just so, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. So there's no other anomalies there, in other words. Huh. Some interesting anomalies here I haven't seen before. But yeah, at least there is carbon, so I can do a bit of mining. What's this bass sound in my ears? It's the game. Can't be the storage producing that sound. I think it's just ambient sounds. Interesting. Where do I see that carbon now? Or did I not see carbon? No way that's the game. Some weird sounds. Sounded like a truck driving nearby. Was I mistaken when I thought I saw carbon? That really is the game. Sounds just like a truck. So there's no carbon here. I'm pretty screwed then. No, how did I make this mistake? I guess it'll respawn. Someone's probably farming it in here. There might be someone living here. Some of these things might have some carbon. Or fuel even. I'm curious about some of it, but I don't want to lose my ship. Shit. This is just, if I remember correctly, that's just common ore. And they say, oh, other things there. Let's find out. Oh shit, and if you run out of fuel, you can't warp. I forgot about that aspect of it too. This game is interesting. I'm not sure if you're still there, Syrian, but do you play in an alliance or with other people, or you play solo? Common ore only. Yeah. And I can't jump out. Ooh, that's a problem. I'm gonna get fuel. I'm gonna have to try and visit this. Where's this? There's usually a site at the sun, but the fact that it's not there... I think the solar system's just different. I shouldn't have come here. I screwed up. I regret my life choices. Let's go check out the sites while we're here. Solo so far. Nice. Yeah, I'm also, I don't want to play in alliances just yet if I'm not very competent or don't play much. But if this game takes off the way Eve Online did, for me at least, then I'll definitely want to be in an alliance. But everything's so different, like you don't have D-scan, you don't have a lot of these things. I've seen these before. Or I've been at a similar site before. This prop mod's gonna burn. Let's burn some fuel. 100k? Oh, because I warped to within 100. Never mind. Wait, we'll warp to within 0. Okay, so which one was this? Oh, I forgot the name of this anomaly. Let's see it elsewhere. Is this the drifting tower runes? Yes. I think I've seen the feralized ones. Let's go check it out. If I have a one-man tax evasion corp. Wait, how do you evade tax? A corp with 0% tax, but I mean, how do you give it money, do stuff, and then transfer it back? These are hostile, right? Yes, I've been here before. These things are the ones I couldn't kill. There was a small ship. They messed me up. Termit drone is. Let's go check this out. Group with 0 tax and stay in it. All the NPC corps take taxes. Yeah, but I mean, if you're trading in a place like Jita or something, you're still gonna pay tax. So it's only like if you're using a character to farm stuff that would usually have tax, you get all the return. But if you own the corp, you would get that anyway if you had tax, in theory. Or is there something I'm missing? No tax on income. True, but if you own the corp and it had tax, you would still get the same amount of money technically. It's just the tax would go to the corp. Or am I misunderstanding? Trading station base. Yeah. Because Jita is owned by an NPC faction technically, so you pay their tax, which is still expensive as hell though. It's like, yeah, I'm not I need to train a lot of skills before I trade in Jita. All the taxes and fees I'm gonna pay. But okay, so these things look like they want to fight. But I have to warp to 0 before I do that. Let's see what else there is. The Termit, this one I haven't checked out yet. I guess these guys won't aggro you from that far away. So you don't join foreign corps. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But if you're running like a nullsec alliance, then I'd say tax kind of makes sense because so say for example the miners, you still defending them. They don't do combat, so they kind of gotta like pay their dues, I guess. That's why for me in a nullsec alliance, I don't mind, but as long as the tax rate isn't too high. Let's see, there's those drones. Can't see them properly now. Come on. There. I wonder how dangerous these are. Let's go to the other one first. This one. Swap 2 and 0. Hope and pray we survive. If I die, I die. I have ammo. I don't even have much ammo. Shit. Oh well. YOLO. Came this far. Should I need my prop mod? They hit really hard. Okay, they're gonna kick my ass. Check my shield. Oh shit. Oh yeah, I'm dead. No, that's too much. Let's see if I can warp out. Will I make it? Yeah, I'm gonna kill him, that's for sure. Will I make it? No, one more shot and I'm dead. 2 more shots and I'm dead. Come on, warp. Warp, yes, I made it. I barely got any hull left. I was a bit slow though, I must say. Mostly move in high sec, but in Wormhole they pay the industrious. Can pay tax by keeping resources in the corp. Yeah, we also had a thing like that in the one alliance where you could actually sell your minerals to the alliance, and then they would use that to manufacture ships and stuff like that. But yeah, that site where I was at now is definitely very deadly. You can't repair your ship without all the equipment. And there's also no carbon field, so I can't build. Damn, I'm screwed. Maybe I should just die, so I can respawn at home. And we can rethink our life choices. Let's do that. I do try and mess me up this one. Might as well go suicide. Like the dude in Independence Day. Which one did I shoot? I'm back. Yeah, one shot, 270 damage. That's obviously the one shot, but I won't be able to get many shots off before it kills me. Or they kill me. I didn't even shoot. Gun didn't activate, I wonder why. GG. Oh wait, I forgot to add my other camera. This one. Why is it, I also see the lights flickering. It's really loud. Oh wait, I can change locations? Hold on a second. Where was that station? This is where I am now, right? That place looks like it might be closer to stuff. Mining Arc. Hunting Arc. What is this? Is it worth trying? I'm hoping my refuge and stuff doesn't disappear in case I do ever decide to go back to that system. But let's give this a try. I don't even know you can respawn in different spots like this. Got an assembler near your home. Get yourself some tier 3 small weapons that are worlds better and are not that expensive. See, I actually had an assembler at my other location, other home base. But yeah, now I'm a bit far. Okay, normally you spawn with some wrecks or some loot that you can take. Which one's my afterburner? 3. Oh, I've got no fuel. Is it going? Yeah, it's going. Oops, wrong button. I used a lot of cap. I don't have a gun to shoot that dude. Asteroid, metal asteroid. Carbon, there's carbon. Plenty of carbon here. Wait, which one do you need for the refinery? That was common ore. Hold up. How much common ore do I have? No, I do have enough. I think it was 20. No, it was 50. So let's first go to normal asteroid cluster. I think it was common ore. Let's just double check before I mess up. You gotta open the build menu while you're warping. Or what? There we go. Yeah, common ore. Which one was it now? That one. No network node. The refuge world is pure of repeated. So there is a network node, but come to think of it, I might actually be out of fuel. How long? I had 4 days worth of fuel. Yeah, I'm definitely out of fuel. It's been more than 4 days since I last played, so definitely out of fuel. Common ore. Where art thou? Oh wait, I need a crystal. What? Oh, it was still being loaded. Okay, that should be enough for a refiner. Actually, I wonder if it's building one here. I guess it is. No, they changed it now. Your minerals don't take up much less space, so you might as well just. Yeah, let's go build it at a Lagrange point. Furthest edge of the system, so cool down quick there. Those shouldn't be the issue as long as the node is built from road. Ah, just the non-portable things won't work anymore. Yeah, the offline stuff. Also, so I'm not sure if you like say there's someone built a network node here, then why can I warp it? Normally you can't warp to other people's if it's there, isn't it? Or is it because you should be able to destroy it? How do I know if it's on? I don't know if it's on. Oh, there, state anchored. I assume that means it's offline. But there's no way I'm gonna shoot that thing with this little ship. Is there? Oh, I don't even have a gun. I've got a mining laser. Can I even damage it with a mining laser? If I remember correctly, you can. Yeah, you can. This is gonna take an eternity though. How much HP does this thing have? Let's check this out. 3.6 million. Yeah, this is gonna take a few years. Let's not do that. Oh, that sucks. Hopefully they're not all occupied. Let's see. I would assume a mining system is busier since there's so much mining involved. This mining arc or whatever they call it. Also, I like how quick this basic ship works. This wind. You don't have D-scan here, but it's a habit. Is this the Lagrange point? Am I still warping? No, I've stopped. Okay, there's nothing here. So we can build over here. Why won't the build menu open? Oh, there. Okay, the network node. Hold on, why is there a bunch of red here? I haven't seen that before, have I? I don't think I've ever been zoomed out that far, that's probably why. So why do I have a combat timer? Oh, there's other dudes that killed me now, remember. I can't see. There we go. Common. Wait, where's it? That's a refinery. That's a printer. Carbonous. So I need more common ore. Let's go farm a bit more. Muted too soon. But yeah, have fun. Have a good night. I'll be back on Monday. Although I might only play games again on Wednesday.